one of the things that I want to show you that I do that works well, and we can do it all together, is that when I feel the fear, and I feel fear in the morning, I feel like I wake up and because my world and all our worlds have changed so much. I tap my third eye, and you can actually do it all together. And I take my finger and I call in forward the light of the Spirit in me and in the universe. And I ask God to disconnect me from the fear. And I say, cut, clear, disconnect. You can do that loud because nobody can hear you. Cut, clear, disconnect from the fear. And I literally see a little light coming in, and like a thread just takes the fear away. And I do this because the fear is not really real. I mean, the fear takes over because our thoughts or our imagination or our emotions flood us. So it's very important when you feel the fear or the anxiety or the future expectations of the fear, actually, by the way, means hold on, appearing real, a false fear, false images appearing real. No, the E, does anybody know what the E stands for? False expectations appearing real. That's it. False expectations appearing real. So you got to cut it right there in that moment and grab it and release it. And as my mother used to say always, I'm bigger than my fear. I'm bigger than my anxiety. So the calmness in us and the center and the love in us is bigger than this fear. And to bring yourself present to yourself and to your calmness, which everybody says mindful, mindful, mindful. Mindful has become this hip word. Are you mindfulness? I'm doing mindfulness. Well, what is mindfulness? Because a lot of people say, I can't do mindfulness. Well, yes, because mindfulness means being present with all of you. When you are being present and you're doing something, if you have anxiety, you're going to be present with the anxiety too. So a lot of us prefer to be distracted, because when we're distracted, we don't feel the feelings that are uncomfortable. The anxiety, the fear, oh my God, what's going to happen? And that flooding that happens. But if you can just come to that and say, I feel that. And guess what? I can also feel the other energy of my heart. And if you open your heart and you make it okay, and here is the greatest key, and a lot of people, my friends, and some of them are in this webinar with us, have lost their jobs, have kids to manage, have no husbands to share, their mothers who have no no husband, no partner to share the raising of the children, the challenges that our kids are going through. So I sometimes feel the overwhelm of what other people are going through, because that's my empathy. And you can talk to a friend and suddenly feel like you have their disturbance in you. So that's another thing. How do you disconnect? And that's all the feelings in your belly. So how do you disconnect and cut off those cords that extend? So that's another thing I'm going to teach you. Like, you do this often. You can't see my stomach now, but if you take your hand in your belly and you cut the cords of people that are pulling on you or things that are pulling on you, and you literally release them, and especially at night.